people. Consumers should always expect that they're going to win something when they scan a check-in label. So also, working together with the government is one area as well that we're very open to, NAFDAC and JS1, to make this many-ledger ecosystem building development happen. We know it's not going to happen in 1 year, but this is going to be a 5-year journey that we'd like the key stakeholders to join us on. To make Nigeria a better place and Africa at large. Yes, and make consumers, safer. Now, the interesting part about the Medi-Ledger technology and the technology that we built already is that it can enable us to have the phasing away of all these leaflets that we find in drugs and medicine. This long leaflet that talks about the drug explanation and all that. You can have it all in digital form. Such as an electronic product information system, which is called the EPI, which is where, from the authentication, the data about the product and every other information can be pulled out into the mobile phone and be read through there. Also, it gives the consumer much more reason to want to interact and read about the product they're about to consume, because then it will be more in more graphical forms on their mobile phone and their smartphone. And we can use this to easily create a central database where at the point of check, at the point of dispensary in the pharmacy, the central database can also be edited or updated that the product has actually left the pharmacy into the hands of the final consumer. So creating more like an end-to-end transparency to know which product is sold in the market and which product is from the open market, which makes it easy for us to track counterfeit products. What we're really envisaging is to keep getting the kind of feedback we're getting now and even better. Most of our users, the companies that use our product, are very happy with the fact that they're able to learn more about their consumers. Also, we've gotten feedback from the brands that they're actually able to engage directly with their consumers, which was something they were not doing before. Right? Being able to engage directly with the consumer and being able to reward the consumer directly is one of the things that enabled most brands to do. And the reception has been great so far. Really taking an uptake in the past 1 year, which is one of the reasons that we're very happy and positive about the next 1 year. That's going to be great for us as well. Most of our service has to do with telecommunication, network, authentication. So we're actually open to working with more network providers directly, partnering with network providers, so we can have better rates for consumers to easily and freely authenticate products without having to charge. This is something we're looking to do. We're currently in Nigeria and Afghanistan. We're also looking at expanding to other African countries. With the kind of network partnership that we have currently, we can easily expand into 10 African countries right now. We've grown over 2,000%. We have over 3 million of our labels in the market. We still have a lot more labels to push out into the Nigerian markets in 2021. As a matter of fact, we want to reach 100 million labels in the market by the end of 2021. Our vision really essentially is to ensure that every one of us can tell the history of the product that we're consuming at every point in time. So when we check the product, we can know how the product was manufactured, where it came from, which distributor got it, and then which raw materials we used to make it, and how it got to us finally, which retail service sold it to us, right? So we should always have that ability to tell the history of every product we consume, giving us more control over what we are eating.
This week's Tech Tips is on cybersecurity tips for small business owners. Number 1. Educate employees about cyber threats and hold them accountable. Number 2. Confirm all payments for goods or services made via online transfers. Number 3. Understand the importance of data backup. Number 4. Get an SSL certificate for your website. Number 5. Use a trustworthy security suite to help protect your device. Number 6. When buying a security suite, make sure you invest in software that provides comprehensive protection for all your family members and their devices. You can get involved by logging onto our website www.data.gov.ng and all our social media handles displayed right on your screens. 1,000 appreciation to the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Isa Ali Pantami, the Director General of NIDA, Malam Kashifu Inua Abdullahi, the management and staff of NIDA. NIDA wants you to make a difference, especially in the tech world. To achieve this, you have to be informed and get involved. See you again next time. I am Dorcas Bello, and bye for now.
I am Elizabeth Abad. I am here to talk about facts. There is so much misinformation and distortion out there, especially on the social media. All it takes is just a click and the fake news goes viral. However, here in NTA, we deal with facts.
My job is to go out there and comb for factual news and information just the way it is, all in the interest of the nation. I'm Naja'atu Tijani.
Here on the NCA, we present only the facts, verified. Beware of fake news, don't be a victim. Stay tuned to the NCA.
Especially at this time of the coronavirus pandemic.
My name is Nnamdi Ojibo.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online, or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
Although social media as a channel of communication is inherently harmless, it becomes harmful and damaging when used without discretion and thoughtfulness. Bad social media users spread rumors and fake news without verification. But good social media users stop, reflect, and verify information before sharing it. Be a good social media user. Stop the spread of fake news. Verify the authenticity of your source and use social media responsibly for a better Nigeria. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, in collaboration with the National Orientation Agency.
Nigeria, a nation of great people, different tribes and languages, yet we are united in our diversity. All over the world, Nigerians are known to be very hardworking and resilient people. In our history as a nation, there have been many storms, but just like the eagle, we always soar very high above the storms. Together, as a nation, we stood against Ebola virus disease in 2014, and we conquered. Together as a nation, we shall stand against COVID-19, and we shall surely triumph. Let's do our part as citizens. Obey the health authorities, stay at home, practice social distancing and proper hygiene. When this is over, and very soon it will be, we shall dance again at the Calabar Carnival, the Eyo Festival, Celebration, Ojudeoba Festival, and Aragongo Festival. When this is over, and very soon it will, we shall flock the beaches again. We shall attend our music concerts again. We shall invite the world once again at the Lagos City Marathon. When this is over, and very soon it will be, we can return to our hustle and bustle. We will gather at our churches and mosques. We shall return to our schools and institutions. Our hope is alive. We are Nigeria. And together, we shall rise again. Nigeria Film Corporation, powering possibilities.
Welcome to Abuja, the place that unites Nigeria.
The Council of Our Fathers.
Backing of the protests by criminals have resulted into violence, destruction of government and private property.
We must redouble our efforts and confront the challenges of global energy dynamics.
President Buhari reiterates commitment to National Economic Diversification Blueprint as Oil and Gas Excellence Center comes on stream.
NEC, we have agreed that we need to begin to talk to our people and to talk to the religious leaders to ensure that we reduce the level of gathering that we have.
No further lockdown. National Economic Council insists on enforcement of non-pharmaceutical preventive measures against COVID-19. And President Buhari orders immediate response to rising cases of bandit attacks in Zamfara State. Hello, good evening. Thanks for joining us on NTN Network News. I'm Joseph Johnson in Abuja. Jennifer Igwe joins me from Lagos. The federal government says it will spare no effort at diversifying the nation's economy using the oil and gas industry as a pivot towards expanding revenues, enhancing the gross domestic product, generating employment, and effectively working towards eliminating poverty in the country. President Muhammadu Buhari stated this while virtually inaugurating the National Oil and Gas Excellence Center of the Department of Petroleum Resources in Lagos. He urged all industry practitioners and relevant stakeholders to join his administration in the task of ensuring that Nigeria explores and exploits her enormous potentials for nation building. State House correspondent Adam Samba reports.
The National Oil and Gas Excellence Center is structured to, amongst others, drive safety, value, and cost efficiency in the petroleum industry, described as critical for stability, growth, and sustainability. The center opens a new set of opportunities for investments, cost reduction, safety in operations, and capacity development. These include search, rescue and surveillance, national improved oil recovery, oil and gas alternative dispute resolution and competence development, as well as integrated data mining and analytics.
We have no doubt that the industry now has the resource and platform to interact, cooperate, collaborate, and on salient industry issues that remains impediment to cost reduction, safe operation, and optimum value optimization.
We are confident that this center will support the attainment of Mr. President's clear development imperatives for sectoral growth and the industry performance targets set by the Ministry for a fortified oil and gas sector.
President Muhammadu Buhari described the realization of the Excellence Center as a further demonstration that despite all odds, Nigeria's oil and gas industry has come of age.
In 2020, global economies were faced with unprecedented challenges and severe shocks in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic and the attendant consequences therefrom. However, we are emerging more resilient in 2021, owing in part to effort of the agencies of the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, who work under my leadership to keep oil and gas production levels stable, optimize government revenues, and ensure domestic energy security.
Apart from serving as a hub for industry best practices, the Excellence Center will also go a long way at enhancing the contributions of the oil and gas industry to the nation's GDP, as well as strengthen Nigeria's position as regional leader.
While acknowledging our achievements, we must not relent. We must redouble our efforts and confront the challenges of global energy dynamics, resurgence of the coronavirus, unstable oil prices, and need for development of alternative energy. I therefore charge you all to rededicate yourselves to national duty and take full advantage of this excellent center to meet the challenges confronting the industry. On our part, we will spare no effort to ensure that Nigeria gets the maximum benefit from the huge natural resources.
The Oil and Gas Excellence Center, consistent with the nation's economic development and sustainability agenda, is another milestone in the Buhari administration's efforts at achieving greater value for the country. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And President Muhammadu Buhari has made a case for Nigerians to see the payment of taxes as a solemn and patriotic obligation, saying that no nation has ever made progress without having to pay for services. Declaring open the first national tax dialogue, the president also insists that foreign businesses must not be allowed to continue exploiting the nation's market and economy without paying appropriate taxes. Again, State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the event was put together by the Federal Inland Revenue Service.
The first national tax dialogue with the theme Taxation in a Post-COVID-19 Economy is a deliberate attempt by the federal government at getting insights and wisdom from a broad spectrum of the society on how best to improve Nigeria's revenue receipts for sustainable growth and development.
There is so much to look forward to in the coming years. The FRS is starting this decade with the resolve to leapfrog tax administration into the digital age. We are banking on your continuous support as we embark on this wondrous journey.
2021 is a year of recovery, a year that we will be recovering from the recession, and a year that taxpayers, both businesses and individuals, will be setting back to the path of growth.
We are starting to see a diversification of revenues, tracking the economic diversification objective of the APC government.
The African Development Bank is ready to provide needed technical and institutional support to Federal Inland Revenue Service and to Nigeria to build up its capacity for tax administration.
In his virtual address to participants, President Muhammadu Buhari made it clear that his administration is not seeking to increase the tax burden on Nigerians, but to plug existing loopholes and ensure equitable application of the tax laws.
This was clearly demonstrated by the provision of the Finance Act 2019, whereby government exempted small companies from tax and reduced the income tax rate for medium companies from 30% to 20%. We went further to cushion the burden of tax on the low-wage workers by exempting minimum wage from personal income tax.
The president, however, said with the devastating effect of COVID-19 on the economy, a debt profile of more than 32 trillion naira, as well as a tax to GDP ratio of about 6%, Nigeria has no alternative than to do whatever it takes towards achieving optimal tax revenue generation potential.
It is not enough that our citizens and local businesses pay their fair share of taxes. Equally, foreign businesses must also not be allowed to continue to exploit our markets and economy without paying appropriate taxes. The Federal Inland Revenue Service has my mandate to speedily put all measures in place to fully implement programs to stamp out base erosion and profit shifting in all their ramifications and generally automate its tax processes. It is therefore incumbent to do all that is required in order to efficiently collect tax revenue due from transactions carried out using local and foreign online platforms.
President Buhari directed all government agencies and business enterprises to grant the Federal Inland Revenue Service access to all their systems for seamless connection. The deployment of technology for automation, he however said, must be done in line with international best practices. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Well, I'll stay on business matters as my colleague Benny Adams takes the lead from here. Benny.
Thank you, Joseph, and welcome. Still talking tax matters, President of the African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, has given an insight into the yet-to-be-released 2021 Africa Economic Outlook. Akinwumi, who was at the Federal Inland Revenue Service First National Tax Dialogue in Abuja, says Africa's cumulative GDP growth is projected to recover to 3.4% as economies open up, with Nigeria poised to recover to a growth of 1.5% in 2021 and 2.9% in 2022.
To ensure that the tax base expands. Given that over 60% of Nigerians are in the informal sector, priority should be given to support measures to move a large part of this from the informal to the formal sectors. Making tax codes simpler and reducing administrative burdens and formalities are important to move from informality to formality.
The AFDB president noted that before the pandemic, 6 out of 10 fastest growing economies in the world were in Africa, but the pandemic caused a cumulative loss to Africa's GDP estimated at $173 to $236 billion for 2020 and 2021, respectively. And on the stock market, investors lose 25.41 billion naira as NSE ASI dips by minus 0.12% to close at 41,099.15 basis points as against plus 0.23% appreciation recorded previously, with its year-to-date returns currently standing at plus 2.06%. Market breadth closed negative as NNFM led 14 gainers as against 50 losers, topped by Chams at the end of today's session, an unimproved performance when compared with previous outlook. Market turnover closes positive as volume moved up by plus 72.61% as against plus 23.474% uptick recorded in previous session. Transcorp, Guarantee and Sovereigns were the most active to boost market turnover. Guarantee and Zenith Bank topped market value list. That is business news. It's over to you, Joseph.
Thanks, mate. And now let's turn our attention to COVID-19 related stories because the National Economic Council is insisting there will be no lockdown for now as a result of the increase in the number of COVID-19 cases in the country. The council is rather insistent that public health measures already put in place to prevent further spread and damage will now be strictly monitored and offenders penalized. State House correspondent Jido Nifade reports on this and other deliberations at the Council's meeting this Thursday held virtually.
An expanded National Economic Council subcommittee on COVID-19 has been interfacing with the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19. And one of the fallouts, as observed by the subcommittee, is the improvement in the test of suspected cases. An indication is the more than 1,000 positive cases seen on a daily basis. This increased number of positive cases is also of great concern to the National Economic Council, as explained by the Delta State Governor.
NEC, we have agreed that we need to begin to talk to our people and to talk to the religious leaders to ensure that we reduce the level of gathering that we have. We also briefed NEC and on the regulations, the Health Protection Regulation 2021 as it relates to COVID-19 pandemic prevention, which we are waiting to be signed by Mr. President.
Not only on religious gatherings, schools, banks, government and private offices and markets are all included.
The information given to us as of today is that we're expecting 100,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccine, COVAX, that they will be providing as promised 20 vaccines for 20% of the population over time. Nigeria, through an arrangement by the African Union, is also through the African CDC, is also making arrangements for about 10 million doses for Nigeria.
Also of great importance, as observed by the National Economic Council, is the need for oxygen availability in all health institutions where people are being attended to. Arrangements, we are told, are being made through Kakovit to add to what states are presently having. 555 million naira has also been released by the Ministry of Finance to 5 tertiary institutions to help generate oxygen. And another 6.45 billion naira is being released to the Ministry of Health to develop new oxygen plants in about 38 locations across the nation.
For the excess crude account, the balance as at 28th of January 2021 is $72,411,197.80.
NEC also resolved to engage the nation's youths at state, regional, and national levels to contribute more to finding solutions to the needs and growth of the country. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And the Nigeria Governors Forum has dissociated itself from statements by Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello, casting doubt on the existence of the ravaging coronavirus pandemic, while the forum pledged commitment towards containing the rising second wave of infections in the country. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports that the Nigeria Governors Forum responded to the Governor Bello's remarks in the media at the forum's 24th teleconference on COVID-19.
Communique issued at the 24th teleconference of the forum, NGF says it is not part of the statement credited to Kogi Governor Yahaya Bello and assured Nigerians of unwavering commitment to defeat COVID-19. The forum also interfaced with global and local partners, including the World Bank, on the epidemic preparedness innovations to facilitate COVID-19 vaccines by February 2021. The National Primary Health Care Development Agency and a renowned virologist, Professor Oyewale Tomori, are working to ensure smooth transition of vaccines with priority to the aged and those with underlying medical conditions. Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State interfaced with Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 on upsurge of the pandemic and Dr. Sarah Alade on development of Nigerian Agenda 2050. The forum received presentation on sustainable water supply, sanitation and hygiene, SUWASH, results-based financing programs for states with World Bank funding of $700 million. The forum received presentation from Dimensions Information Technology and Governor of Edo State Godwin Obaseki on harmonized traffic management to boost revenue and domestication of National Charter of Account for 2020 state fiscal transparency, accountability and sustainability. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
A slight yet significant reduction in the number of out-of-school children in Nigeria has sparked renewed hope in ongoing efforts by the federal government to end the lingering negative trend in Nigeria. Minister of Education Adamu Adamu spoke to the issue at a media event in Abuja. Abdullahi Musa Suleja reports.
A 2018 survey by United Nations Children Fund UNICEF put the population of out-of-school children in Nigeria at 10.5 million. That report projected that the figure will increase to 13.2 million, attributing the spike to insecurities and the subsequent disruption of academic activities in the Northeast. Worried by such projections and committed to reversing the trend, the Federal Ministry of Education engaged in activities captured in its policy blueprint titled Education for Change.
The Association of Providers and School Owners of Nigeria have been working very closely with the ministry to reduce the number of out-of-school children. At the last count, the association has taken over 1 million out-of-school children off the streets. In the last 2 years, 1,900,000 illiterate Nigerians have been able to read and write in English or the 3 Nigerian languages.
As you recall, Mr. President has challenged all ministers to continue to showcase the numerous achievements of this administration. Today's press conference or briefing is very much in line with that directive.
On tertiary education, efforts are run to build a national education cloud for teachers and students at all levels, where research and resources can be harnessed electronically to boost learning. A harmonized academic calendar has also been worked out following the disruption of academic activities occasioned by COVID-19 last year. Abdullahi Musa Suleja, NTA News.
Oh, let's just take some messages. Stay with us.
Customer, here are the tomatoes. What else shall I give you?
Hot pepper and Auntie, this your cough is getting out of hand now.
Take it easy with her now. But customer, this your cough. You should go to the hospital.
You know I can't go there with this cough at this time. They'll just say I have COVID-19.
Customer, every cough is different. It could be tuberculosis.
It's true, Auntie. Check am o, make you dey sure.
Because who no go?
No go, no.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
Check am o, make you dey sure.
If your cough is more than 2 weeks, it could be tuberculosis. TB tests and TB treatment are free. Just call the National TB Hotline on 3340 for information on where to get the test. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Health with support from the American people.
Bill Emirate Council, Borno State, cordially invite the general public to the formal presentation of staff of office to Mai Mustafa Umar Mustafa II, Emir of Biu, by the special guest of honor, His Excellency Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, MNI, Executive Governor of Borno State, special guest Alhaji Abubakar Ibn Umar Garbai El Kanami, CFR, Show of Borno, and Chairman Borno State Council of Chiefs. Date Saturday 23rd January 2021. Venue Bew Township Stadium. Time 10 a.m. prompt. Come one, come all. Long live Bew Emirate. Long live Borno State. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Announcer Muhammad Ibrahim, Damasan Bew, Chairman, Media and Publicity Committee.
Ross, good afternoon. Sorry, good morning. I beg, please, I need 5K. Now, emergency matter, I'll return it back next week. 5K? Next week, oh. I beg. Next week, I'll give it back. I don't want your story. Hello?
Bro,
what's in the happen?
I beg, I need 5K next week. Now only you feel help me.
Oh, yeah, come, now come, I dey shop.
Bros, how far now? How market? I know say now next month you supposed to pay me those materials where I supply you last week. But the thing is, I need that 5K out of that money.
5K again?
I beg, I need.
Why everybody gonna ask me for 5K this early morning now? What's in the happen?
I beg.
Okay. First person 5K, second person 5K. 5K.
Uche. Bros, yeah. See, how far that 5K now?
I'm not gonna give you that money until you tell me what you want to do.
Now Zenith Bank, Zenith Bank, they give 30,000 naira worth of gift to 50 of them customers every week.
You don't mean it?
Not true. All you guys do now to open bank account, leave 5K for inside, go collect ATM card, go register for their mobile banking app or star 966 hash. Easy banking. That's all.
50 people will win gifts worth 30,000 naira each every Friday from now till July 30, 2021. To qualify, simply open a Zenith Bank account. Fund your account with a minimum of 5,000 naira. Request and collect a Zenith Bank debit card, virtual or physical. Download and register on the Zenith Bank mobile app or register for star 966 hash easy banking. That's all it takes.
My shop, and I think I last.
What's the 5K now?
Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
I bring you wonderful news. The village headmaster is coming back to your screen. Mo wire abi mi o wire.
Teacher yo mo, a fẹ́ lọ wá nǹkan jẹ. Teacher yo mo, a fẹ́ lọ wá nǹkan jẹ. Ọmọ onírẹsì ti dé. Ìrẹsì ta sánsán.
Ajebo na better school for last gidi. Not be all this on a rugged school for Ijebi. I don't know for you.
Second, it's called Oja Village. Kadesi, we no happy at all.
And I know that even you too, you are getting a lot of orders. Hey, we are trying, Shao. Sweep her leg out. She was standing there. Sweep it.
I love you so much.
And how did I give you the impression that I was interested in that position?
50-year anniversary.
You mean anniversary?
I mean, it's not I talk with that now.
Not for me.
Not for me because of Pamio.
You're still watching NTN Network News with me, Joseph Johnson. Let's talk security now. President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered for an immediate response to rising cases of bandit attacks on communities in Zamfara State. In a directive to the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Mungunu retired. The president ordered that there must be a clear pathway to ending the resurgent banditry that has continued to cost lives and the displacement of thousands of families from their towns and villages. Recently, the Speaker of the Zamfara State House of Assembly, Nasir Magaraya, wrote a letter in which he appealed to President Buhari to intervene and stop the incessant killings by bandits in the state. In this respect, a meeting is soon to take place that will deliberate on security and the issue of illegal mining, which is fueling the crisis in Zamfara State. The meeting will be attended by Major General Bashir Magaji, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbeshola, and architect Olamilekon Adegbeti, Ministers of Defense, Interior and Mines and Steel, respectively. Also to attend the meeting are the Directors General of the Department of State Services and the National Intelligence Agency, NIA. The Directorate of Defense Media Operations says 2 suspected bandit collaborators have been arrested in Sabwa local government area of Katsina State and are in custody for further action. For details of these and other military operations covering 14 to 20 January 2021, let's join Defense correspondent Najatu Tijani.
In ongoing military operations across the country, troops of Operation Hadarindaji neutralized 30 bandits and recovered rustled cattle and sheep. Troops also averted an attempted reprisal attack at Jambako village, killing 5 bandits in the process. Meanwhile, in Katsina State, following credible intelligence, troops apprehended 2 suspected bandit collaborators. Other operations carried out in the other zones include the destruction of 7 Boko Haram ISWAP terrorist gun trucks under Operation Turata Kaibango in conjunction with the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Duli. In the North Central Zone, troops of Operation Safe Haven on stop and search patrol at Mariri arrested 1 Stephen Yaro. The suspect was arrested with a locally made rifle concealed under his motorcycle and is presently undergoing preliminary investigation. The troops of Operation Delta Safe conducted anti-crude oil theft and illegal oil bunkering operations, as well as other anti-illegal maritime activities. The Military High Command encourages the troops and personnel of security agencies to sustain the tempo in all joint operations. The DMO also enjoins the public to continue providing timely information on the activities of criminals in their various localities. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
Now, barely 48 hours after renowned Islamic scholar Sheikh Ahmad Mahmoud Gumi secured truce with bandits and kidnappers in Breningwari and Giwat local government areas of Kaduna State, another set has resolved to lay down their arms and renounce crime. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukun captures the event at Kagargo local government area of Kaduna State.
The power of dialogue and peaceful negotiation. The dreaded forest along Kaduna-Abuja road now opens for truce. Again, the actors here have agreed to lay down their arms. No written records, but strong verbal commitments made. What that means is respite for motorists and commuters along the ever-busy Kaduna-Abuja road, thanks to the initiative of Sheikh Ahmad Mahmoud Gumi.
Security is the responsibility of all of us. You cannot fold your arms and see crimes and atrocities committed, thinking that it will not focus on you. So this is the message I tell them. They should have a security committee among themselves. If they see anything, kidnapping, stealing or anything, they should immediately report.
The negotiations and agreements are not stopping on the dialogue table and laying down of arms, but extending to provision of amenities such as grazing reserves, clinics and schools for the local communities. Sheikh Gumi's team was also at the palace of Chief of Kagarku, Saad Abubakar, to further seek royal blessing and promote unity amongst the diverse groups. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachikun, NTA News.
Former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan has listed restructuring of the mind, love for humanity and national unity as major ingredients that could take Nigeria to the promised land. Abdullahi Mohammed reports that the former #1 citizen was speaking as the chairman of the 18th Daily Trust newspaper dialogue with the theme Restructuring, Why, When and How.
Greetings, the new normal. The national anthem sets the ball rolling. On the table for discussion was restructuring Nigeria's system of government. And when former President Goodluck Jonathan took the podium, he clearly states that restructuring alone cannot do the magic, but a deliberate move to generate and infuse into national life ideas that could set in motion a drastic change in attitude.
We should encourage a healthy conversation on restructuring and reforms that steer national pride and love and faith of our citizens in our beloved country. Nigeria is still the greatest gift history has bestowed on us, and of course the black race.
The event offered other notable Nigerians a platform to give account of their understanding of the subject.
Two things are important for us to be able to improve the situation and to become a more effective federation. And those are, one, elite consensus, and secondly, good democratic governance.
This process, in my view, will ultimately refocus our country, breed a democratic culture that emphasizes more on selfless service rather than individual enrichment, promote genuine unity instead of ethnic bigotry.
The debate continues online with citizens connecting to express their opinions. In Abuja, Abdullahi Mohammed, NTA News.
5,000 women in the Federal Capital Territory across the 6 area councils are to benefit from the federal government's cash grant for rural women. This is coming as the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development flagged off the program in Abuja. Ruth Aguele reports that the ministry also engaged stakeholders on establishment of national senior citizens centers across the country.
Issues concerning the welfare of older persons have been on the front burner of the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development. In walking the talk, the ministry is engaging stakeholders to establish the national senior citizen centers across the country as part of efforts to address limited access of older persons to basic services.
It is my hope that this very important meeting will bring out implementation strategies to ensure access to basic social protection and social services necessary to break the cycle of poverty, inequality, and social exclusion of older persons in Nigeria.
We will continue to work with you to see that older persons in Nigeria enjoy, because hitherto we have been neglected.
The expectation is to ensure an all-inclusive society for older persons in the country by providing support structures. On the other hand, in ensuring that no one is left behind, the ministry has flagged off the federal government cash grant for rural women in the FCT, a program designed to provide a one-off cash grant of 20,000 naira to some of the poorest and most vulnerable women across the country towards eliminating extreme poverty.
I have personally witnessed the life-changing experiences of people who lived below the poverty line. President Muhammad Buhari has graciously approved the expansion of the National Social Investment Programs to touch more lives and lift more Nigerians above the poverty breadline.
That the challenges notwithstanding, Nigeria has what it takes and shall become a great nation if the current efforts to tap into the reservoir of potentials of all the citizens are maintained.
And this grant they have given us today, I so much appreciate.
5,000 women from the 6 area councils in the Federal Capital Territory are targeted with the hope that this cash grant will increase income and productive assets of the beneficiaries. In Abuja, Ruth Aguele, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has issued a fresh directive to the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, to address all issues hindering the manufacture of the first made-in-Nigeria helicopter. To this effect, the management of NASENI, led by Executive Vice Chairman of NASENI, Professor Mohammed Sani Haruna, held a meeting with the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority with a view to reviewing all outstanding certification and technical matters delaying the final test run of the helicopter. Correspondent Kerian Omayo reports.
Manufacture of non-commercial helicopter by NASENI has reached advanced stage, but delays in getting permits and certification since its approval in 2015 stalled the project. These include non-release of semi-knocked down SKD component to complement locally produced parts by NASENI, non-release of approved funds, and pending security clearance. On other pending issues of certification, the management of Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority and NASENI have agreed to work together for the common goal of achieving a made-in-Nigeria helicopter by fast-tracking the process.
We had offered to collaborate with sister organizations. Mr. President is also aware that similar agencies to NASENI that Nigeria has copied, they are producing not only for their country but for the world. Again, you know it, you follow to certain trips, and so areas that our staff capacity knowledge was built. It is these issues, bureaucracy, funding challenges, that has delayed Nigeria to have its own.
Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority has the responsibility of issuing permit and certificate of aircraft registration, airworthiness, noise regulation, and general certification for the helicopter.
It's not only the dream of NASENI, it's the dream of NCA, and it's the dream of Nigeria. And I said, and I will say all over again, we'll work within our regulatory requirements, within our mandate at the Civil Aviation Authority to give NASENI all the cooperation.
As the nation looks forward to the first Nigerian-made helicopter, it is worthy of note that NASENI has successfully domesticated several technologies believed to be impossible in the country. Kirian Umayo, NTA News.
Made in Nigeria helicopter. Now that's a brilliant development, isn't it? Now, in less than 2 weeks of the commencement of the electronic ticketing system of the Abuja-Kaduna train service, more than 35,000 passengers have accessed the portal. This was made known at the virtual launch of the system by the Minister of Transportation, Chibuike Amechi, in Abuja. Oyinaya Kaluoka reports.
Running of the electronic ticketing at the Abuja-Kaduna train stations, passengers have been commending the initiative and also pointing out some lapses.
It's a good system for sure, but we need to be highly oriented.
At the launch of the platform, Minister of Transportation Chibuike Amechi says the test running has enabled them to correct the errors for an efficient and transparent system.
It's a total package that also includes access control, which will be deployed subsequently. It's my belief that deploying the secure ticketing solution is in line with world best practice and will enhance efficiency, save time, and promote accountability.
People have now learned that they should buy their ticket even before coming to the station, not to come and queue at the station again.
There are multiple benefits also, but like I said, the key one is to make sure that our revenue is secure.
The electronic ticketing is in 3 phases: the web link, mobile app, and the ticketing office machine. With this platform, there is no room for refund or the use of another passenger's ticket.
You don't have to arrive at the train station 3 hours before. You can come in 45 minutes before because you've already purchased your ticket.
With the takeoff of the e-ticket in Abuja-Kaduna train stations, NRC announced that Lagos, Ibadan, as well as Itakpe-Warri train stations are next. Oyinaya Kaluoka, NTA News.
Let's now join Jennifer in Lagos for more stories. Jennifer.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. Now, while the inauguration of the Lagos-Ibadan rail line is gradually drawing closer, there is a boost in passengers' traffic, with most of them already visualizing the array of opportunities along various sectors that the rail service will actualize. Michael Olaleye reports.
The finish line is near, and the contractor handling the Lagos-Ibadan rail line is not relaxing. From laying of concrete, fixing of pavement and instructional signs, the train corridor in Ebute Metta is a construction site. And even with these magnificent buildings standing tall, the commitment to deliver is unwavering.
The train station itself, most people say it, I think it's one of the biggest you have around. It has a capacity for 6,000 people at a time. There are other facilities attached to the station. We intend to have a park and ride. There's supposed to be a hotel around the station premises. Don't also forget, around the station premises, we also have the central control for the Nigerian Railway Corporation's standard gauge operation.
The situation on the track can best be described as a scenario where hard work speaks louder than voice, and the only sound audible is that of the diesel multiple unit, as passengers' patronage leaps from 50 to 75% with total capacity of 8 coaches. It is a win-win situation for most passengers who are not just excited, but counting the gains.
Meaningful development already starting with real estate businesses, telecom businesses bringing mass. You see outdoor advertising, everything coming around the corridor because of new life is being opened.
This is the first time Tijani Ibrahim and his wife will board the train from Ibadan, and their definition of comfort differs. It is a concept built around environmental and emotional wellness, which to them, the train service perfectly delivers.
You get tired, you get exhausted, you are worrying about a lot about things, but if you now consider that, you can use the train, there are a lot of things. One, you can actually work while on board the train.
I can get to Lagos with all my produce without getting spoiled. That what happens on the road, 2 hours, I'm actually in Yaba, I'm in Ebute Metta.
As the project nears inauguration, the next line of action by the Nigerian Railway Corporation is to boost easy accessibility to its services. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NT News.
And to the environment, the signing of the executive order by the U.S. President Joe Biden committing the U.S. to the Paris Agreement on climate change has been applauded by environmentalists. They say the move will help global efforts to check the catastrophic effect of climate change. John Kerry, former United States Secretary of State and Special Presidential Envoy for Climate Change, signing the Paris Agreement in 2016 on behalf of the United States. The Paris Agreement marked the first time the world's greatest polluters agreed to reduce carbon dependency and emission of greenhouse gases that cause climate change to below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels and even 1.5 degrees. In 2017, however, the former United States President Donald Trump announced that the U.S. was pulling out of the historic agreement.
That threw in some confusion into the whole system because the withdrawal indicated, therefore, that the other countries responsible for about 50% of greenhouse gas emissions in the world now will become a little bit relaxed. That if America is not party to it, then they could only do the best they think they should do.
The new United States President, Joe Biden, signed an executive order committing the U.S. back to the Paris Agreement. This move, environmentalists say, puts the U.S. back in its leadership role in the climate change negotiations.
America is an industrial country, an industrial leader and political leader, a heavy polluter. Going ahead with the Paris Agreement without the United States of America wouldn't have made much sense.
With the effects of climate change still wreaking havoc around the world, environment experts and conservationists are optimistic that this move by Biden, if followed through, will intensify efforts around the world to reduce emission of greenhouse gases and help poorer nations adapt to the impact of climate change. Good development there. Time for a break. The news will continue shortly with Joseph in Abuja.
JJ has always been my father's hero. So this year, I wanted to do something really special. If I could just talk to JJ, I'm sure he would remember Dad. Mom says never give up. Hello JJ, it's me Victor. My dad's birthday is coming up soon and I want to surprise him. And she was right. I have been looking for you everywhere. Please help me.
Hi Samuel, happy birthday, it's JJ.
Happy birthday to my man.
My dad is my hero, but now JJ is too.
The best data plans in town. Find your first. Dial *777#.
Mimi, where's your mommy?
A major part of being a parent is being present.
I struck out, and the winner is Mimi Idris.
Stay in the picture and be the parent you want to be. Call 0700 AXA Mansard today to speak to an AXA financial advisor.
Disinfect and protect your home with Jik. Jik kills 99.9% of illness-causing germs. Disinfect floors, kitchen and bathroom surfaces, and wash white cloths, towels, and dishcloths with Jik bleach. Just Jik it. Disinfect and protect your home with Jik. Jik kills 99.9% of illness-causing germs. Disinfect floors, kitchen and bathroom surfaces, and wash white cloths, towels, and dishcloths with Jik bleach. Just Jik it.
This is the Wilson family last week. This is the Wilson family this week. What's changed? What? The Wilson family got maximum entertainment for less, and now they're closer than ever. Your family can be too.
How does this work?
With world-class international channels that put the quality back in your quality time.
That's what I'm talking about.
GoTV Max will bring you and your family closer in no time. So upgrade to GoTV Max for only 2,999 naira today. Make you enjoy. GoTV. Love it.
This is NTN Network News, and we are back in Abuja. In its desire and determination to upgrade its health care system, Yobe State government has taken another step by procuring and installing state-of-the-art radiology equipment at the state-owned University Teaching Hospital in Damaturu, the state capital. Adam Yusuf Ali reports that the equipment will also be used for research by medical students, as well as minimize referrals from the state.
Since the establishment of Yobe State University Teaching Hospital in 2017, the state government has continued to invest in the tertiary healthcare system. We are also not leaving primary and secondary health system behind for enhanced service delivery. Recently, the latest magnetic resonance imaging and CT scan machines were procured and installed at the radiology department, which provided 64-year-old Abba Kelumi, a patient from Maiduguri, Borno State, to access services at an affordable rate.
Yes, but I was referred to this place because they have the state-of-the-art equipment.
A consultant in the radiology department, Dr. Aisha Ibrahim, noted with satisfaction how the newly acquired machine eased their workload and provided effective services to patients within and outside the state.
We hope that we as the end users will handle the machine in such a way that it will prolong the span of the machine, and then we'll also want to appeal to the government to actually invest more in procuring this machine and get more manpower so that this center becomes a referral center.
These machines were upgraded to provide more sophisticated tests that are not even available in other parts of the country. As said, only 3 centers carry out such studies in the whole country, which Yobe State is one of them.
In Damaturu, Adam Yusuf Ali, NTA News.
One of the leading manufacturers of home products, Aspira Nigeria Limited, has unveiled a new product, Viva Plus Laundry Sanitizer Detergent Powder in Kano. The grand launch attracted customers and key market drivers from across the country. Awal Salisi reports.
The production and sale of sanitizers and other personal protective equipment surged worldwide owing to the increasing number of COVID-19 cases across the globe. Aspira Nigeria Limited, in its continued commitment to ensuring customer satisfaction, deemed it fit to introduce detergent that could reduce the risk of spreading ill-causing bacteria, in addition to keeping clothes stain-free. The new laundry sanitizer, unveiled by the company, was developed under multi-enzyme and co-friendly technologies, and it contains 0% bleach.
We still improve our quality. So today also we will bring another project which has a sanitizer for the HIV bacteria and so many things.
The Viva Plus Laundry Sanitizer Detergent Powder contains an advanced formula that leaves a long-lasting fragrance designed to keep clothes bright and vivid.
Bringing a detergent, Viva Plus, that takes care of germs, sanitize your clothes, I think is something that Nigerians would love to patronize.
The product could not have entered the market at a more auspicious time, given the present global push for improved personal care and hygiene, including the need for a cleaner and safer environment. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
Let's bring you sports now. Minister of Youth and Sports Development Sunday Dare has joined the sports fraternity to pay tribute to former Green Eagles coach Joe Errico, who passed on Thursday morning. Gift George has details.
Fraternity was thrown into mourning following the passing away of former Super Eagles assistant coach Joe Errico. Minister of Youth and Sports Development Sunday Dare has described the death of former Green Eagles goalkeeper Joe Errico as a monumental loss to Nigeria. The minister said Joe Errico's death is sad and unfortunate and one too many and a great loss to the sports family. The late Joe Errico made his mark as a player with Nepa Football Club in the 70s. He was then called to be part of the Green Eagles, who ended with a bronze medal at the 1976 African Cup of Nations in Ethiopia. After his playing career, he went on to coach Julius Berger, where he introduced Jogo Bonito's style of play, which had Brazilian flair.
In football industry, Nigeria just means a big fish in respect of ramifications of football.
Put the ball on the ground. Go and ask whoever played under him, from Julius Berger to the national team of Nigeria. It made football look so easy. He was a perfect gentleman.
He was part of the coaching crew that qualified Nigeria's under-23 team to the Sydney Olympic Games. He was later recalled to the Super Eagles technical crew as assistant coach to late coaches Amadou Shuaibu and Stephen Keshi for the 2002 African Cup of Nations in Mali and also for the 2002 World Cup qualification.
He has really done well for Nigerian team, training children in the aspect of sports.
Somebody who believe in grassroots development, somebody who believe in progress.
The late Joe Errico died at the age of 72 in Lagos. Gift George, NTA Sports.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari says he is saddened over the passing of former Nigeria senior team goalkeeper and one-time assistant coach of the Super Eagles, Joe Errico. Commiserating with the family of the legendary player and tactician, as well as the Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, the president avers that the nation will forever remember him for his tireless devotion to duty, ensuring victory for Nigeria when it mattered most in football. The president prays Almighty God to grant the soul of the deceased eternal rest and divine comfort for family, friends, associates and everyone who came in contact with the talented sportsman. In the same vein, President Muhammadu Buhari mourns the death of Gambo Jimeta, a one-time Inspector General of Police whose death was announced on Thursday evening. In conveying the sadness of his family and that of the government and people of Nigeria, President Buhari described the late crack police detective as a man of great courage, intellect and a true Nigerian statesman. He prays that Allah blesses his soul and gives strength to the bereaved family and the government and people of Adamawa State to bear this irreparable loss. And that's NTA Network News for tonight. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I'm Joseph Johnson. Good night.
Although social media as a channel of communication is inherently harmless, it becomes harmful and damaging when used without discretion and thoughtfulness. Bad social media users spread rumors and fake news without verification. But good social media users stop, reflect, and verify information before sharing it. Be a good social media user. Stop the spread of fake news. Verify the authenticity of your source and use social media responsibly for a better Nigeria. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television NTA in collaboration with the National Orientation Agency.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online, or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
This is the network service of the NTA.
I bring you wonderful news. The village headmaster is coming back to your screen. Mo wire abi mi o wire. Teacher no mo, a fẹ́ lọ wá nǹkan jẹ. Teacher no mo, a fẹ́ lọ wá nǹkan jẹ. Ọmọ onírẹsì ti dé.
Ajebo na better school for last gidi. Not be all this on a rugged yes school for Ijabi. I don't know for you.
Second, it's called Oja Village. Kadesi. We know happy at all.
And I know that even you too, you are getting a lot of orders too. Hey, we are trying, Shao. Sweep her leg out. She was standing there. Sweep it.
I love you so much.